Good morning. I'm glad you're here. Changing the angle a little bit so I can see if I can incorporate Sleepyhead. He's being so relaxed. Had an active morning. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm going to start off by showing you what I'm using. I just washed my face with my microfiber cloth. This is the coconut oil I've been using on my face and body. I put it in a sugar jar. I have these in my bathroom for different things. And so I just take out a little bit, warm it up, and boy, does it get watery. I'm not going to get this particular one next time because of the coconut smell. I'm not a big coconut smell girl. I never was. I love coconut in cookies and candy, but I usually put this on before I put my shirt on. And I always try to put some on my arms. Not try, I seldom fail. These are moments when you can just take a minute, not even a whole minute, just a few seconds, to just take a breath and feel your face. People say, rub this way, rub that way, don't rub this way. You know, as long as you're not pulling down hard, you know, gravity works on your skin all day long. Unless you're ripping the heck out of your skin. I just don't think that you have to over worry about what direction you're going in. I do know that there's it feels like these muscles that go up this way. I'm not a doctor, but I like to I'm just bracing my finger from sliding all over with these other two fingers. It's just sort of trying to relax those muscles right there in the middle. One of the things that I find for people who have had trauma, especially when it lasted for years as a child, is that the body keeps the score. The body just seems to be able to find stress and tension very easily. I know it's a little pink, but makeup will cover that. And because I have sinus issues, if I just, you have sinuses all up in here. And some people say, and I know when I spread my nose, I can breathe better. And sometimes it's just nice to get that. And I also have these little straw muscles. You know, there's this good strong muscle in there. I think that's what it is. Where it keeps all these wrinkles because this muscle is used a lot. So I like to now I don't go to this extent every day, but I do this quite a bit, almost every day to some degree. And look, the coconut oil just soaks in. It just feels so good. If I didn't know that I just put that coconut oil on and I had clean hands and I just came in, I would think, wow, what was that? And this big jar, 29 ounces. No, wait. 29 fluid ounces. 1 pint, 13 fluid ounces. I don't understand what I'm reading. Why is it saying that? 29 fluid ounces And in parentheses, it's 1 pint, 13 fluid ounces. Okay, 858 milliliters. Well, that was nice of them to explain it like that. Okay, set that aside. I barely got to look at my messages, but I did have one of you beautiful ladies ask about how to put on whipped makeup. Now, this isn't Maybelline. This is a jar from my L'Oreal tinted balm. But I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter if it... and I refilled it with Rimmel. I like Rimmel. Anyway, there are people who apply makeup with a brush or sponge or their hands, and some people spray it on. My opinion about that is to put it on the way that it makes sense to you. Excuse me. If I were, I feel like George Carlin right now. If I were financially challenged or poor, which I have been, I was born that way, I would definitely use my fingers because you use less product. Sponges sponge up makeup. It's a lot of waste. Brushes get makeup all up in its business. All up in its business. And if you like hygiene, if you have sensitive skin, neither one of those, in my opinion, is a great option, because pores go into your dermis, and anything that gets in there, if you're very sensitive, which I'm not that sensitive, can cause blackheads and whiteheads if there's any kind of bacteria in there, which these items, unless you use a new fresh one every day, carry bacteria. So on the fingers, and you can experiment, especially when you have a nice moisturizer on, and depending on how heavy you want to wear your makeup. So I'm going to have a long day today. So I just kind of wiped it, but I'm going to wipe it a little more. Oh, that's probably too much. You got to experiment with this kind of stuff. So I'm going to do like I did with my moisturizer. I'm going to heat it up in my hands. Not all of them, just enough fingers to where I feel like I'm going to have control and that my fingers are going to be useful tools. So it's heated up. And I'm going to just go ahead and get any areas. See, it'll spreads very nicely. Now, I'm not rubbing hard like I do with my moisturizer. Well, I wouldn't say hard, firm, but this is soft because it's already warmed up. It's sliding on well with the moisturizer. And I like to cover everything so that I'm not using cover up and I like to start with a clean slate. And I'm rubbing down, then I'm rubbing back and forth, rubbing up, just gently. And I'm doing that because pores and pox, like I have chicken pox, and I have some very large pores from all the years of acne and blackheads and whiteheads. And I even like it on my lips, because I don't have much of a lip line anyway. So if I can cover up a little bit of my faded lip line that I have had, I was left out at a park, and then there's very little left over. Now I'm sure that there's a lot less on my hands than there is on that sponge or brush. But I was left out in a park area, and I was told to spend so much time at the pool and then get back to the camper. But of course, being a child, I stayed at the pool all day long, and I had second-degree burns all over my face and shoulders and upper thighs. And I also did that once in basic training. Second-degree burns all over. It was a mess. Okay, so then I'm going to check in the mirror and get any spots that I didn't. A thicker makeup like this, too, is really good to make sure you pat it in these little hidden crevices and the fat pores from acne or what have you. And just kind of double check any particular areas. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When I'm putting on makeup, I'm not thinking about all the beauty queens and all the YouTubers. What I'm thinking about is this a finish I can live with? Not even considering what other people think. Is it a finish that I can live with? Is it socially acceptable? Am I going to scare anybody? Am I going to be distracting clients from their work with me? Do I look genuine? And one of the things that I think is good with me, with clients, is to look consistent. So they always know what to kind of expect from me. Excuse me. Now, if I were going to a party, I would be double checking my nose every time I'd have to use a hanky. But this makeup is a good enough match for me that if I wipe it off somewhere, it's not going to be completely obvious. And that's another good reason for me to not get too excited, which I do sometimes. You see me when I'm working, it's fun to get all excited about contouring because it's fun. It's like adding spices to a stew. But for me, going out in public, like I'm going to do later, if I use a lot of contouring, I feel like I look a little overdone for the occasion. Especially if you're going to be sitting right next to somebody to see all that makeup. I mean, you can just really tell. So, okay, so this is a fresh bottle of eyebrow shadow. So I'm going to try not to overdo it. I'm not going to go back and forth like I do when it starts drying up. This is NYX. I really like it. And it's affordable. And you know, I like affordable. Can't believe how good Frankie's being right now. So I'm just going to brush these up the best I can. I've already trimmed him. Trimmed him yesterday, maybe? I don't know. I saw someone who had so much hairs, that they were able to brush theirs down. They kind of brushed these up a little bit, and then the rest were kind of brushed down. Also, it's a clever way to brush them down first, and then draw the line, and then brush them up if you're going to take them that seriously, which I don't very often. Get a couple strays. So when you get that eyebrow stuff on them, the strays show up. Yay. I've done that before when I've really was taking my eyebrow hygiene really seriously. I would take my mascara and go over that whole area lightly. So it would get all the baby hairs down on my eyelids and over to the sides. And I'm telling you what, that made it easy to tweeze all those. And I like tweezing because, like waxing, it lasts longer than just trimming them. But I also got to where I could, see, these are curved. I think they're cuticle scissors. I think that's what they used to be called. But you can kind of cut the baby hairs away. And this is good for temporary when you're going to go out and you want to zip through it. So that was that foundation. Yay. Got the eyebrows. I'm going to put on a little powder. This is just my Cody mixture. Cody doesn't, I don't have a dark shade of Cody, but I found a darker shade of CoverGirl than I normally wear. And it's a 120. But I mixed that with my lighter powder, and I just feel like it gave me some nice color. And I'm going to tell you what, Cody's been around a long time. So is CoverGirl. You can't go wrong with them unless you just don't like the smell. CoverGirl smells clean. Cody smells like my godmother, who's now 90. And the mixture in color is like a professional smell, not flowery or pretty or too clean. Just smells okay. So one of the things I'm going to do, since I'm going to be a long day, I'm going to put a lighter color down first. Kind of absorb any oil. Get it right up on my fatty. How are y'all? I hope you're well. I sure do. I am going to try this eyeliner gel. And it's a one I got off of Temu. I haven't used liquid or this kind of eyeliner for a while. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little teeny weeny little brush, and I'm going to put it down in my eyelashes from the top, not from the bottom, because I don't want to try that hard. And my I don't want to bother in my eyes, but I'm going to put it as more of a base. I'm not in love with this. It's just not my style. When I used liquid eyeliner, I just used it liquid with a nice little wet brush. This is sort of a heavy tar. No smell. So I'm going to share something with you. Look at that difference already. Oh yeah. When you wonder why Mama wears makeup. Okay, see the top of my eye right there? That's the uppermost part of my eye. So if I do a line from where I put my eyeshadow straight out from that line. See that? So I have to fill in all that. I've been doing this for years. So straight out to that. And you can take it to, like, if you're like me, I have that first wrinkle, then I have a second wrinkle. So you can, if you're going to go out for the night, you can take this top, open your eye. I don't want to really make this mess, but I'm going to do eyeliner on another video. I actually have to work today. And I'm going to take you with me to straighten my hair a little bit. I washed my hair yesterday, and evidently I did not put on enough makeup, or conditioner. So my hair looks like straw. And I am going to use my straightening iron on it. Okay, so now I'm going to use the powder and just dab the powder on it. Kind of like having wet makeup and then putting some powder on it. So hopefully it'll last all day long. And some people put their foundation on after their eyeshadow, but I don't hardly ever put on enough makeup artist type makeup, so I don't get a lot of fallout. So that's kind of cool. I've been using this Lash Sensational. The brush is not my favorite, but the mascara is not bad. I mean, I'm not a makeup artist, so I can't really say that, oh, it's a wonder mascara. I think what makes a mascara or anything else good to me is if it's easy to use and gets the job done in an easy way. And I won't ever get this mascara again because I cannot bend the wand. And in almost every mascara I've ever owned, I've been able to bend the wand. And so it's harder for me to see what I'm doing. And I have to use this side just to kind of give me a little more control. I don't like using the full curl brush because it's just, I don't feel like I have enough control to do that. If I use the curl side, I don't know. It's not natural to me. And I think that has a lot to do with anything in life for me. When I was growing up, everything in life was so hard. And of course, me being genetically speaking kind of a drama queen, I'm not saying I'm not, but I've accepted that part about me. Look at that big clump on there. This mascara's gotten thick really fast. A lot faster than most I've ever had. And it's good for going in the second and third time. And getting that edge gooped up and then going down into the base of your eyelashes and just chunking that up. Just chunking it up. Not on the ends. If you get it on the ends, just pinch it off. Okay. Here's one thing I'll tell you too is that sometimes what I'll do, and I'll probably do this soon. I had to go dig out a fresh mascara because this is getting too thick for already. I've only had it open a couple weeks. It's great for getting in there and clumping. But I'm going to get a fresh mascara out. Probably one of my Maybellines or one of my lashes. Because this is too thick to really do the long eyelash work. And especially the bottom eyelash work. So I'm going to take... I always have a clean bandana down here to wipe off my brushes. I'm gonna have to dig out the other mascara later, but I'm gonna just wipe that off so I can do the bottom lashes. And I don't really do the inside lashes because I want a little more. I don't want that baby girl look. I call it baby girl. Gangster baby girl, you know, where they'd have the lashes. I do watch old movies on TBS sometimes, the old black and whites. But I think I have sworn off 60s and 70s movies so many times. And I broke down and watched one from the early 60s, black and white, Sundance movie. And oh my God, was nothing like in the title. It was a ridiculous, horrible movie. There wasn't anything good about it, hardly at all. Two people who weren't even focused in the movie were really the only good ones. Just yapping. Oh, so makeup to me, just like cooking, just like dressing. When I was young, I was poor. I didn't really have a choice on what I did for food, makeup. I had to get just what I could afford and nothing more. I did not splurge. I didn't know how to budget. Was never taught that. And so I bought the least expensive stuff. Now that I can afford better, I go with ease and comfort. Nothing was easy. Nothing was really comfortable in my mind. It was something I had to do, and I had to do it right. Now that I'm older, I don't want to fight my moisturizer. I don't want to fight my cleansing routine in the mornings or at night. I don't want to fight how I'm applying my mascara or anything else. If it's not enjoyable, I'm not going to do it. And when I do get excited about experimenting with something, it's for fun. It's not going to be because I have to make myself make do. If I buy expensive foundation or inexpensive foundation, I'm going to shop somewhere where I can return what I don't like. I'm not self-conscious anymore. When I was a kid, it was humiliating for me to return something. And then when I got older, I realized with my OCD and my trauma, I would get so overstimulated waiting in line to return something, just sweating and nerves and just ultra focused and hyper vigilant. And so I just went and returned stuff. Now that I'm older, and for years now, I can do that much better if I need to go in person, which I haven't had to do that in years. or I go ahead and do the paperwork to send something back. There are things we can do in life that set us up for less stress. Does that kind of make sense? Makeup less stress, clothes less stress, not wearing shoes that are too tight just because I want to stay in a 7.5 all my life. I'm now at an 8.5. Well, still an 8 in Uggs for some reason, and still a 37 in Birkenstocks for some reason. But tennis shoes, they just make them so tight now that I'm wearing 8.5, 9. So, being open-minded and not forcing myself to wear pants that are too tight, socks that are too tight, bras that are too tight, headbands that are too tight. This is an amazing headband that I got at Dollar General. It has rubber on the inside, so I can make it as loose or as narrow as I want, depending on what I'm doing. And it still grips really well. So I know it was under $5. I set up my makeup in an easy to way use. I have bedding that's super comfortable, and my bed is too high for me these days now that I'm older, but I still have this thing about critters getting in the house and crawling up my bed. So the longer the legs, the taller the mattress, the less boogeymen I think are going to get me. Crazy. I feel safer in a taller bed. Not that I could crawl under it because the bed frame's so low, but it's just high. I set up my closet so I can go in and get my clothes easy breezy. My bathroom is set up easy breezy if I'm going to take some vitamins or medication or Band-Aids. Everything is organized, simple, and easy. How about you? Is there anything you can do to make yourself more comfortable throughout the day? More relaxed? Like I bought these new tennis shoes, looking for something that's wide enough, has a decent arch, plus I have arch inserts I can use. Dr. Scholl's has them. You used to just stand on a machine, it would tell you what you needed. I don't know if they have those anymore. I haven't been to a store for a while. Last Walmart I went to, I didn't see one. So I don't know. Here's another little thing. All the coffee cups in my cupboard have comfortable handles. I used to just collect cups because they were given to me, or I thought they were pretty, and they would go with everything else I have, and they weren't comfortable. And every single morning I'd think, damn, I wish I had cups with nice handles. So that's not even a thought for me anymore, right? Every time I'd go to put on a product, I'd think, oh God, I wish I didn't have to do all this all the time. So I started collecting these. I get these at Goodwill for between $2.99 and $4.99. $5.99 is the most I spent for a jar, and I don't know why. Maybe it was sometimes you can get some more expensive ones, but they're all the same to me. If you buy them through Amazon or Walmart or something, they're like $11. So there you go, refillable. And I have several old. These are good candles for the price. These are only $6. I think they're like 20 through Yankee Candle. I got turned on to these, and I'm not going back to Yankee. If I get one for a gift, though, that'd be nice. But these do smell good, and they burn long, so no biggie. Anyway, I reuse these jars. I burn them when they get here. I keep them burning so that the wax is really soft. I pour it out on some paper in a bag, and then throw that away. And then I scrub the inside of this with some dish soap and one of those green scrubbies. I don't have steel wool anymore. I used to, but it rusted before I used it, so I threw it away. I put it in the dishwasher a few times just to get all the oils out of it. And I use these in my bathroom for, I use a water pick, and so I have a various sizes, but I have one with Himalayan salt, one with baking soda, so that I can add that to my water pick, and as well as birch xylitol, or however you say it. So I have several of these different sizes of empty candle containers. Who would throw away a nice little canister like that, right? I have thrown some away because I didn't catch them and the wax was just too hard and too much work. And I'm not going to work that hard. Not that broke today. But there was a day when those would not have been thrown away. So, I think I got all my makeup on. Why is Frankie being so good? Maybe because he's not scratching from a yeast infection or from fleas. I like mixing my lipsticks. And when I have a long day, I always try to match it as well as possible to the inside of my lip, so that as it wears, you might be able to see I have a weak lip line, more obvious, but it's not going to look like obvious lipstick is wearing off my face, which is distracting mentally to people. I know it is to me when I see somebody doing that. Hi, baby. You gonna say hi? Oh, see, he's here. My good boy. He's so casual. Yeah, we've been playing all morning. The weather's so beautiful. And my yard was professionally sprayed, and then I sprayed it myself only a week later, this weekend. So I've been outside working in the yard just here and there. Not one mosquito bite. Oh, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm not having ants crawl across my feet. None of that. I think the fleas are finally under control. I will say that my dog, Franklin, Sir Franklin, Prince Franklin, Prince Frankie. When we exercise in the morning, we run up and down the street, and he goes up into a neighbor's yard who's kind of like, they have kind of a park out there. It's just beautiful. And he loves visiting with them. And, but so he's getting fleas from somewhere. He had another flea bath this weekend because I always saw onesie twosies on him. But this weekend, that's why I sprayed the yard again myself. I decided after this professional sprayer came to the yard, inside the house, outside the house, the barn, the shed. I mean, he sprayed the whole thing. Very affordable too. That was crazy. But they say if you don't get all the eggs, the vibration can wake up those eggs and they can pop. And the mowing may have done that, but he was covered in fleas. Oh my God. It was heartbreaking. And it was emotionally upsetting for me to think that my baby was crawling with fleas. So I gave him another flea bath, and I finally broke down and decided the flea collar is just too much poison, but I was steered towards, has too much reaction, but I had to give in and decide to give him flea medicine. You put it on a spot on the back of their neck, and it is poison, and it breaks my heart to do it, but I can't have him suffering with those fleas. So hopefully the flea battle issue is done, because he did not have a reaction to this particular flea poison. Why? I don't know. But he didn't get the red ears. He didn't get the red tummy and legs. He's at peace. So I hate to put the poison on him, but sometimes you gotta choose the lesser of two evils, because the fleas to me are evil. I don't want them in the bed, in the house, and contaminating all the dogs that come here to visit. So Please don't think lesser of me. All right. Love y'all. Have a great day. Bye for now. Bye, Frankie.